Today, we're diving into a massive battle for the future of air travel. On one side, you've got a palace in the sky, and on the other, a ruthlessly efficient machine. This is the story of two airline giants with completely, and I mean completely, opposite ideas about how you should fly.
And really, it all boils down to one huge question. Can a budget airline, one that's built on pure simplicity and low cost, actually take on the titans of luxury travel? You know, the ones who made the journey itself the destination? Let's get into it. All right, so let's set the stage. In one corner, you've got the heavyweight champion, the behemoth, Emirates. Think luxury, think oil wealth, think a palace in the sky. And in the other corner, the challenger, IndiGo. A super scrappy, incredibly disciplined airline out of India that just completely dominated its home market with ruthless efficiency. I mean, this is a classic David versus Goliath story playing out at 30,000 feet.
So to really get what's happening here, we have to start with the reigning champ. We need to look at how Emirates didn't just build an airline, they built a global empire. And it's all centered around one brilliant strategic masterpiece.
The secret sauce for Emirates? It's something called the hub-and-spoke model, and what's so cool about it is how simple the idea is. Just picture a giant post office for the entire world. Emirates basically collects passengers from all these different cities, funnels them all through their massive hub in Dubai, sorts them out, and then sends them off to their final destinations. It's an absolute masterpiece of logistics. Now, this empire didn't just pop up by accident. Nope. It's built on four incredibly strong pillars. First, their location. It's just geographic gold. We'll get to that in a sec. Second, this massive state-backed ambition to make Dubai the center of the world. Third, and this was just brilliant, they used luxury as a weapon. While everyone else was cutting costs, they went the other way. And finally, they perfected that hub-and-spoke model we were just talking about. So just how good is that location? Seriously, this one number, it says it all. Two-thirds of the entire world's population is within an 8-hour flight of Dubai. Just think about that for a second. That is an almost unbeatable strategic advantage. It literally made them the crossroads of the world. Okay, so that's the champion. Now let's meet the challenger. While Emirates was busy building its palace in the sky, IndiGo was on the ground building a ruthlessly efficient machine, and their goal? To conquer one of the most difficult, price-sensitive markets on the entire planet. IndiGo's whole system is just brutally disciplined. It's all about these four pillars. First up, the power of one. This means they only fly one type of plane, the Airbus A320 family. That alone saves them a fortune on training and maintenance. Then there's their legendary clockwork turnaround. They can get a plane emptied, cleaned, and reboarded in under 30 minutes. It's insane. For them, being on time isn't just a goal, it's practically a religion. And finally, they unbundle everything. You pay for your seat, period. You want anything else? That's going to be extra.
So, did all that discipline work? Oh yeah, you bet it did. This number is just staggering. IndiGo now controls over 60% of the entire Indian domestic market. Think about that. That's a huge achievement, and they did it by making flying affordable for millions of people for the very first time.
So here's the key takeaway so far. IndiGo didn't win by being fancy or luxurious. Not at all. They won by turning operational efficiency into a legitimate art form. And it's this exact disciplined mindset that they're now taking onto the world stage. All right, so we've got the luxury titan on one side and the efficiency machine on the other. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. As IndiGo starts pushing into international routes, these two completely opposite philosophies are finally going head-to-head. So let's break down exactly how this clash is shaping up. And this chart really lays it all out. It shows just how different their playbooks are. You've got IndiGo flying directly from point A to point B for travelers who are super price sensitive. Meanwhile, Emirates is funneling premium and business flyers through its massive Dubai hub. It's literally a battle of IndiGo's smaller, super efficient A320s against Emirates' giant A380 jumbo jets. At the end of the day, it boils down to two totally different promises. You want rock-bottom fares, or you want pure, unadulterated luxury. But this brings up a huge question, right? IndiGo built its entire empire on short, quick flights. So how on earth can they possibly compete on those long-haul routes? You know, the ones that are Emirates' home turf? Well, here's the catch. They have a secret weapon. And here it is, the Airbus A321XLR. This plane, This plane is a total game changer. It is the key that unlocks IndiGo's entire international ambition. Okay, so here's the strategy, step by step. The A321XLR is what's called a narrow-body, single-aisle jet. It's the exact kind of plane IndiGo already knows how to operate with insane efficiency. But, and this is the big but, it has the range to fly long-haul. This changes everything. It means they can open up direct routes from India to cities all over Europe and Southeast Asia, completely bypassing those big Middle Eastern hubs like Dubai. Their entire bet, the whole gamble, is that millions of travelers will happily trade the champagne and the layover in Dubai for a cheaper direct flight. And this brings us to the future of travel. Because what's so fascinating about this whole thing is that IndiGo isn't trying to play Emirates' game. They're not going head-to-head on luxury. Instead, they're trying to change the rules of the game completely. This whole strategy is a classic example of something called asymmetric warfare. It's a fancy term, but the idea is simple. It's where a smaller challenger doesn't try to fight the big guy head-on. Instead, it uses its own unique strengths to disrupt them. The best way to think about it? It's like a nimble little speedboat running circles around a giant battleship. Sure, the battleship has way more firepower, but the speedboat has agility. It's fast, and it can go places the battleship just can't. And this quote from our source material really just sums it up perfectly. IndiGo's whole international strategy is a classic case of asymmetric warfare. By using that low-cost structure they've perfected and these hyper-efficient new planes, they're creating a strategy that the Emirates battleship is going to find really, really hard to fight. So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. IndiGo's goal isn't actually to beat Emirates at their own game. It's to create a brand new market. A market for people who want affordable, direct, long-haul travel and, frankly, are willing to give up the frills to get it. They are carving out a special niche that the big legacy carriers, with all their high costs, are going to find almost impossible to compete in. And all of this leaves us with one final question, a question that really gets to the very heart of this battle. And it's for you. When you travel, what's more important? Is it the luxury and the whole experience of the journey itself, or is it just about getting to your destination as directly and as affordably as you possibly can? Your answer to that question, well, that's probably what will decide the winner in this new battle for the skies.